Well, I'm not going to be, trying to update everybody on everything that's going on. Everybody pretty much knows what's going on. But I'm going to talk about some other things in this video, so let's get into it. Hey, what is up everybody? How are you doing? Thanks for checking out this video. Support for the channel is awesome. And yes, it is wasp season once again. I got like 4 of them hanging on my string that goes to my LED light above me. Yeah. I'm actually moving my workout a little bit to the inside. It's normally out here in the garage, so yeah, it's getting a little sketchy. So I might start doing some videos in different areas instead of just torturing myself with all the wasps. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm keeping an eye on those guys. There's like a meeting going on up there, so yeah, it's again. Anyway, bombing Iran. Yeah. I didn't want to do a video on this at first just because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Like right at first when I heard about it, I saw it live as it broke on the news. BBC was the first one to get it. No, CNN was the first one to get it. And I just happened to be watching CNN, flipped through the other channels, and nobody was talking about it. Nobody broke for about the first 10 minutes or so. Then people started picking up on the story. I wanted to do a video about it then, but I knew every news network and media network in the world is going to blow up with the story. So I'm just going to sit back. Not necessarily my thing. But it's been a little bit of time now, and I wanted to talk about what some of the retaliations would be. And it just happened to be a few minutes ago, right before I came out to do this video, I was watching, I think it was BBC or something like that, and Iran just launched an attack to Qatar, however you say it, towards the U.S. military base, and still no idea whether any of them landed, made contact, any destruction, anything. 6 missiles, 1 gets through, there's going to be damage. Last heard there were 10,000 troops that were stationed at that base. So we'll see how that unfolds. But I just want to talk about more of the retaliation of what is coming for us. Everybody's been hearing about this. Everybody's been talking about this. The main headline is sleeper cells. And people worrying about sleeper cells. And people worrying about attacks on military bases in the Middle East. So the attacks are happening. Sleeper cells haven't happened yet. Sleeper cells have been one of my concerns since many years ago, and it still is. They're still here. They're still active. Now everybody's focusing on terrorists and stuff like that, and very minimally focusing on China. Now, there's just as much of a chance of some sort of attack within the United States coming from China than it is Iran. Iran's going to have the terrorist cells, the training camps that they have. They have one here in Missouri up at Jefferson City, known training camp for terrorists. Why they don't do anything about it, I have no freaking clue. We need to just start lobbing some grenades into their camp and deal with the situation. But for some reason, we welcome them into our country. China is the other big deal. Now, China has been shipping stuff into Iran. They are helping with munitions. They're helping with whatever they need. Russia is helping out Iran as well. So China is getting involved into this conflict, even as a proxy, even as a light proxy, just like we started in the beginning with Zelensky. We're just going to send them some vests, some helmets, maybe a couple M4s. Nothing big, nothing to worry about. That's where China's at right now. Next, I don't know about next. I don't know the whole progression of it on how they're going to do it, but eventually it's going to be ballistic missiles. That's just the way that we did it, so China's probably going to do it to us. But China sleeper cells within the United States, we know they are here. We know they have been coming across the border. They have been filmed coming across the border saying that they're Chinese nationals by the thousands. We have been catching them doing biological warfare labs here in the United States, buying up all the farmland, which of course everybody's talking about, catching them with biological agents to our crops and stuff like that, that fungus that was going to kill all of our crops. you got to keep in mind, these are the things that we're catching. It's pretty easy to slip shit by the United States. It ain't that hard. You can pack a shipping container and smuggle stuff into the United States. It's like 1 out of 1,000 are actually checked. So, yeah, not really that hard to do. So, do they have more things to cause the United States problems here in our country? I can almost guarantee it. So, yeah, they have the biological weapons. They have weaponized the herpes virus. They have done all these things to put a maximum impact on the United States civilians. It's not going to be directed towards the military with that. It's a blanket attack. So it's going to be affecting everybody. Now, China does, in fact, believe in terrorism. They think it's a very effective way to push an agenda or get something done to cripple a nation or anything like that. Terrorism is very effective. China knows this, and they are all on board with it. China does not do terrorism themselves, but they do have proxies through ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Iran, and all these other countries. They will work for China, especially when China starts throwing them goodies, money, anything that they want to go ahead and organize a terror attack on the United States. So even if it does come out that they are Iranian nationals, China might have something involved. There might even be a chance that China is directly involved. And Chinese nationalists are planting things around our countries in critical areas, waiting for that time or however they're going to do it. But not only do we have the chance of a terrorist attack from Israel, not Israel, but Iran, we also have one from China, and Russia's not completely out. North Korea is not completely out. Right now, Department of Homeland Security is saying terrorist attacks are at the highest level they've ever been. There's an alert to the United States right now of terrorist attacks in certain cities. The FBI, I was going to say Ron White. I forget the last FBI director was very heavy on talking about these sleeper cells and terrorist attacks in the country. In fact, the last words that he had in office was, "Wake up. Wake up. There is a definite threat to the United States, and I wish you luck. Thanks for your service," and off to his Aspen, Colorado retreat. Now we have Kash Patel, and he is saying the exact same thing. He came in with a fresh mind. He came in with no knowledge of any of this, or little knowledge of any of it. I don't remember him talking about terrorist attacks or the threat to the United States before he was in office, but since he's been in office, he has been talking about it. The White House is talking about it, the government's talking about it, the Pentagon's talking about it, Iran's talking about it, China's talking about it, Russia's talking about it, the people of the United States are talking about it, local governments are talking about it, sheriff's departments are talking about it, the FBI is talking about it, Department of National Security is talking about it, Homeland Security is talking about it, and I'm sure I'm forgetting, but the president has probably mentioned something about it as well. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I don't think there's a way around it. I think the odds are so strong right now that there's going to be a terrorist attack in the United States that it's not even a question. So, what do you do prepping on it? Well, if you're prepping, you're already doing something about it. Situational awareness. Have your situational awareness on point. Pay attention to your surroundings. Now, I need to say this. There isn't really any situational awareness or prepping that is going to get you out of a situation that involves a terror attack. It can happen anywhere, anytime, any place, in any manner. That's the scary thing about it, is you can't really do a whole lot about it. It's one of those nasty things that, the only thing you can do is live in a bubble and put bubble wrap around yourself so you don't bump into the bubble too hard and protect yourself the best you can. That's about all you can do. Terrorist attacks obviously can be bombs, they can be improvised bombs, they can even be IEDs that are tossed into the street in New York City. They can be biological attacks. They can be these herpes virus attacks. That sounds kind of weird, but if you think about it, herpes is going to be It's a sore that stays open. It doesn't heal itself. It stays open for a period amount of time, and then it ends up stopping. The virus depletes, and then it closes itself up, and things are back to normal. These red ones are nasty. Yes, that was a aerial wasp attack on my head. They're looking at me. It's one that's hanging out by the light. I think I have a wasp nest up on my light. Anyway, terrorist attacks. Not only is it going to be something of a bomb, an improvised, wow, I'm having a hard time saying that, improvised bomb, IED, it could be biological. Now, with the biological thing that they're working on, imagine that all over your body. It's been changed and tweaked to where it's used as a weapon. It's been weaponized. So imagine basically the feeling of getting burned by a match 4,000 times over your body all the time that never goes away. Kind of like shingles or something like that. It's going to be very miserable. It's going to be a very miserable thing. So that doesn't even include things like poisons, things like attacks from within with the farmlands that they bought next to military bases. Like I gave that scenario video, which was, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty dramatic and a little over the top, but that's one thing that I talked about is they're going to be able to use things like crop dusters, put biological agents in those, fly them over the military bases, and voila, you just had yourself a successful terror attack inside the United States. Pretty easy. Now, they already have these agents in the United States. All they got to do is redistribute them to the places that they need, and that's all it takes. It's not too hard. The damage has already been done when it comes to terrorist attacks in the United States. So, yeah, they're probably coming. The terrorist attacks can happen in any way, anytime, anywhere, and you're probably not going to see it coming. Now, when it comes to biological attacks or anything like that, the damage will be done before anybody knows it. It'll spread. They have stuff that could spread within a couple days and cover the whole United States as far as a disease-based biological warfare. We won't even notice it. We won't see it. We won't see an event that happened that caused it. We're just going to get sick one day. Yeah. So, sure, keep situational awareness. If you happen to see something that's completely out of the ordinary, just avoid it. Don't worry about reporting it. Don't worry about being a hero. Don't worry about any of that. Turn around, walk away. That is the best thing that you could possibly do. Now, 99.999% of the time you do that, it's going to be nothing. But it only takes doing that when the time is critical that you need to do that. So, not a whole lot we can do around terrorist attacks. Now, as far as bombs go, I would stay away from populated areas. I'd stay away from going into cities if you don't live in a city. And if you're in a city, might want to just dial up that hunger down motion a little bit more and just chill out a little bit. Chill out. You don't necessarily have to go to the festivals. You don't necessarily have to go to a big farmer's market that's downtown or something like that, or a food truck meet so you can get that wonderful taco that you've been wanting to get for a couple weeks. Just relax. Now, here's another thing, too, that I'm thinking of probably most of all, that right now the heat is on Iran. The heat is on terrorist attacks and having them do terrorist attacks or threaten terrorist attacks. Now, right now, it's going to be the harder time for Iran or any sleeper cell from Russia, China, or anywhere in the world to actually pull something off. Our FBI is looking out. Department of Homeland Security is looking out. People are kind of looking out. People are looking out because it's getting spread across the news. Sleeper cell is a household name now. It's a household phrase. Used to be very few people really knew about sleeper cells. Now it's getting out to the masses. Now that's good so people understand it. It's bad because it's going to normalize it. Again, it's good that our adversaries know we're being alerted of this situation. So it's going to be harder for them to pull anything off. But 2 years from now, we're going to forget about it. if they quit talking about it, a month from now, we're going to forget about it. We're going to be back to worrying about illegal migrants and taxes. That's when they're probably going to attack, is when we put our guard down, when we quit paying so much attention. They got eyes in this country. They know what the security is at federal buildings. They know all this stuff. Especially with these protests that are going on around the federal buildings, it's going to be very difficult to put a suitcase down and walk away. So they're going to wait for everything to cool down. So I would worry more about terrorist attacks in the future than I do right at this moment. Right at this moment, the United States is a pretty safe place. We're on high alert with everything right now. That is not when you want to attack. Just look at it as a fight. You're going up to fight somebody, and you got some dude that's like right here ready to go. Are you going to try to throw a first punch when they're going to be able to move out of the way? Or are you going to wait till they're sitting down in a recliner about to fall asleep, looking the other direction? If you're looking for a sucker punch, which scenario are you going to choose? Maybe 2 months down the road, right? So yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking. Yes, of course, right now I'm on alert. Yes, of course, right now I'm very glad that I am a prepper. Right now I'm glad that I have food growing. I'm glad I'm in the situation that we're in right here, right now at the homestead. Try to get yourself into that situation as well. Do whatever you can right now. When everybody stops talking about sleeper cells, terrorist attacks, hunker down. Like, seriously, start paying attention to things that are going on, your situational awareness, dial back your large crowd events, do stuff like that when we stop talking about it. There is a chance that it could happen tomorrow, today, anything like that. Obviously, they're coming in. Iran's launching attacks on the United States right now as we speak. Iraq is probably going to be next. I forget the names that they use, the Middle Eastern names for the bases out there, Al-Assad, or they're all Al something. I don't know what Al has to do with any of this, but I know an Al. He's a pretty good guy. Anyway, don't panic right now. Start preparing for what could happen in a scenario of a terrorist attack in this country. What are you going to do? Is there a bug out plan? Is there a bug in plan? Is there a CRBN procedure that you have in play? Get everything ready. If you don't have anything ready, start thinking about things and plans and what you can do if there is a blanketed biological attack on the United States. What are you going to do if there's a mass exodus after a bombing in Manhattan? Just start thinking about these things. A lot of people aren't going to be able to do much. So when you're in your place, when you're at home, how are you going to adjust your life accordingly to benefit the best not even benefit, prosper over others the best that you can? So that's all I really got to say about it. I thought it was kind of interesting that we just got bombed right before I started this video. And yeah, we definitely have some terrorist attacks coming, but it's probably not going to be what you expect. So I'll leave it with that. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Have a great day. Till next time. Peace.